I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And as a business consultant and life coach, I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So if you always wanted to write a book, but you just haven't seemed to get started, or you always wanted to 10x that business that you already have, expand it to the next level, you know exactly what you need to do, but you just haven't done it? Well, I've already purchased all the courses, read all the books, the Tony Robbins, all sorts. I have several degrees, including a master's degree and credits toward a doctorate. I've sat with and met celebrities and done the networking. And what I realized is what I really needed was a mastermind group of people working toward my project, my business, or my endeavor. So what I've done is met with coaches and met with experts and put them together to work on your project. So join us today for our mastermind networking group. I'll see you there. Click the link below. Hello and welcome to the Arlene Show. Everyone can be rich and powerful and influential and live the life of their dreams. Yes, it's possible. Many people have started with very little, coming from meager beginnings and then expanding and really living a massive, wealthy life, both materially, emotionally, physically. It's just really possible. And many people say, oh, you're here on this earth, but we're here to work 9 to 5. We're here to pay bills. Absolutely not. We're here to live an abundant life. And today I'm so excited because I have two guests on the show with me today. Miss Sharon R. who's going to tell us exactly how to live that abundant life. She's a realtor, the owner of a real estate company called Sharon R. She's been in this business for 23 plus years. So we're very excited to have her on the show today. And we also have another gentleman with us by the name of Mr. Mathew Gardner. And he's somebody who talks about the mindset of finances, what you need to do to expand that pot that you have of funds. Okay, so I'm very excited today to hear exactly what they have to say. And once again, I am Arlene, the host of the Ask Arlene Show. I'm a life coach and a business consultant, which means that I help you to move forward, as I said, in that business, project, or endeavor. So just in case you've never heard my story, I was working in corporate America and I was recruited. Oh, I also worked in politics. I worked on the campaign of President Obama in the battleground state of Florida. And I was recruited for a job working as a director of a chamber of commerce. So my job was to help businesses to grow and to expand and to market themselves. And I got recruited to be head of another chamber clear across the country out of 300 people. So in good faith, I flew across the country. I was selected. It was a beautiful experience, or so I thought. And then subsequent to my moving clear across the country, the new board of the chamber came in and they decided that I was not their person and that they were going to get a new head of the chamber. So I was always being called for comment from the newspapers and from the magazines about what was going on in the business community and what was going on at large. So when I got fired, it was a public firing, guys. My picture was on the cover of the newspaper and across the front it said, fired. And I was stuck. I was really stuck. And then subsequent to that, my mother passed away of an incurable disease, and I was really stuck. So I had to come back. And the only way that I knew how was to start going to conferences and start reading all the books and start getting all the information that I could about how to overcome my fear, get unstuck, and live my best life. And so I had coaches that helped me to get there. And that's how we came to this part where I am now a coach and I'm helping you to learn about how to overcome your fears, get unstuck, and live your best life. And one piece of living your best life is actually getting our finances in order and having that right mindset. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our first guest, which is Sharon R. Hello, Sharon.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Hi. It's a pleasure to finally connect with you. We've been trying to put this together since before COVID-19.
Yes, yes, it's been a long, long, long time.
So Sharon, I shared with them that you are a real estate guru, that you've been around for 23 years. Tell them quickly a little bit about who you are and what makes you the successful person that you are today.
Okay, so I am Sharon R. Frank. My company is called Sharon R. Frank Real Estate Group, LLC. I have been in the real estate industry for well over 23 years. I've been I can say fortunate to have a long-standing career in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
And longevity is something that you have to work towards. I am also the ex-vice president for the board of directors for Habitat for Humanity.
Oh,
And
wonderful
I
organization.
have
When I worked in politics, we used to use them all the time.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something interesting about that. And then I also work out on the uh, planning committee for the United Negro College Fund, the New York chapter, which I love doing. So I have had the opportunity to be in business for myself for well over 23 years, and it's been a journey. And it's something. It's very can I say fulfilling
Great. So
when
what do you
you
attribute that success that you've been having in business? If you had to point to one thing or two things, what would it be?
Okay, so the success that I have experienced is because of determination. It's determination that makes the difference. How much do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want the outcome? What's the outcome that you want? That
Excellent.
is what makes the difference.
Okay, so I've written a book. It's called The 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck. And one of those secrets is actually persistence. So I'm right on the same page with you, Sharon, as far as
Yes.
one of the key secrets. Keep going. Don't stop. Now, tell us a little bit about the money mindset. Like, what is it that you did? Well, first of all, did you start out wealthy?
Absolutely not. I started out in my bedroom doing this thing. I started off with nothing in the real estate. I had no rich uncles. I didn't have a relative, a father who had money. I started off with nothing. And I can add to that, I have had an unfortunate situation in my lifetime where I lost everything.
Well, first
And
you have to have everything to lose it. So how'd you get everything?
Well, I worked as again, it's determination. It's determination. I tell folks when I speak that if it all depends on how much you want it. When most people are sleeping at nights, guess what? I'm up till 3 a.m. making sure that I meet my mandate in terms of my work or whatever it is. If I'm writing a book, I'm up doing it at 3 a.m. I can't make excuses and say, well, I wanted, but I can't stay up at night. It's not going to work.
You watch TV, Sharon.
Do I watch TV? No, very little. I don't. I don't look at TV. No,
Do
I'm
you
sorry.
have a morning routine that you do that helps you to get the right mindset to raise these funds that you're raising on a regular basis?
Yes, I do. I am a believer in Christ. So my first thing when I open my eyes every morning, I have to be thankful and just thank my God for the day that He's given me, for a new day, for the air I breathe, everything. That's how I start my day, being thankful. While I'm there on the bed, I put on some music and I listen to a song that relates to whatever I'm experiencing that day, that month, and what gets me going. And it has to speak to my situation.
Beautiful.
Not negatively, but positively.
Okay, so this is why I ask. We've been doing the show now for several months, and what we found, and I'm a coach as well, is that many of the people who are very successful are doing something different from the masses. So the masses come home from work, you work 9 to 5, you come home, you sit on the couch, you relax, you put your feet up and you watch TV. But the people who are really crushing it are like yourself, Sharon. They're not sitting down and relaxing and watching TV. They're actually moving forward and figuring out what's the next move, what's the next best thing that I can do. Waking up early, listening to good things to put yourself in the right state of mind. And I really think that that's key, what you said about getting in the right frame of mind in order to earn. So you sell dream homes, and I love that because I love homes. Who doesn't love houses?
Who doesn't?
But you're selling these big, beautiful, amazing houses. How did you get into that? Because that's the way that you're really earning your funds. How did you get into that?
It started from me just looking for housing. I was looking to rent an apartment, and I went out looking for an apartment. I met this amazing man who was a realtor who said to me and my then fiance, why don't you guys consider buying a home? And I said, well, can we? So he said to me, well, look, he did the numbers and he showed us. He said, purchase a home. So we pursued that. It didn't work out. A family member was selling their house, and I said, okay, I'm going for it. Purchased the first house for my family member, but what he had taught us or told us when we were with him stuck with me in the back of my mind. He said, you buy this one house and then you let it appreciate in value, and then you take the equity and you buy the second house.
Okay, quick question for you, because I know many of the people listening have this question. So many of the people who have apartments right now say, I can't buy a house. I can't afford to buy a house. Just like you said to the realtor, oh, we can't buy a house. We're just here to get an apartment. So what was the distinction? What was the tweak that was able to make you move forward and be able to buy a house? Because I'm sure that finances didn't miraculously come. The credit didn't miraculously shift. So what happened?
Like anything else, it is education and empowerment that will give you the edge. A lot of people say, well, I don't know how to do that, or I don't know how to do this. Well, I tell people, I say, you may not have money for a college course, or you may not have money to buy maybe a Tony Robbins course or what have you. But guess what? There's
you can buy an Arlene McLaren course.
There you go. Or there's YouTube school, right?
That's a $15,000 course.
You can go to YouTube and learn how to do this. You can buy Arlene's course, but it's education and empowerment. And again, like I said, if you are determined that I am going to change I am going to change my destiny. I'm going to change the narrative. Beautiful. You will find a way to do it. You have to seek. You have to ask. You have to knock.
And the door shall be opened unto you.
The door shall be opened. Yes.
Love it. So I want to bring Mr. Gardner here in on the conversation. So I'm going to ask him to just say hi and tell us a little bit about his business. Hi.
Hey there, Arlene. Great to be with you here. And my passion, I host a course called Quantum Money Transformation. And it's really all about transforming that money mindset, understanding what really is money, all the negative charges and beliefs that we have about it, all the primal conditioning that we've created for ourselves, really, for millennia.
One thing that you do to shift that money mindset. Just give us one snippet. What's one step?
As you saw there, the high coaching method, which is a methodology that I've adopted, and it's an acronym, HIGH. And the first H stands for honesty, the I is integrity, the G is gratitude, and the second H is humility. And by following those 4 characteristics, that's really how you can transform your perceptions. Because what we really want to do with money is have fun, become more childlike. And if you're going to enter that kingdom of God, so to speak, you can't be all serious about this game of money. You have to treat it like a game.
I like that. Treat money like a game. So that's really key. I think people get a little bit constricted when we start talking about money. As a matter of fact, in business, in the corporate world, we don't even talk about money. We talk about the yield. We talk about the spread. We talk about the revenue generation. We don't even use the word because the word generates such emotion in people at times. So you said we need to make it fun, make it like a game. Okay, so I decide I'm coming to you. I want to make money a game. I want to earn. What do you tell me to do? What's the first step?
Well, the first step is just redefining what money even means, because again, like you said, we have all these negative charges around it. So if someone's coming in and they're all rigid, or they have fears around money, or they've avoided money, or they feel like they're taking it from people, or even how they're doing business, like a lot of the business models out there are win-lose. Like the person receiving the money's winning, the person getting the service is losing. So it's like, hey, are you even doing business in a way that's truly collaborative? And from my standpoint, that's really the biggest challenge right now, is that the problem today is that most business owners are working in silos and feeling a lack of connection and opportunity to authentically collaborate. And despite our best efforts to find a way to do that and to work with one another, there's still an underlying current of going alone versus going together. So as long as we have that separation mentality, it's going to be extremely hard to find that financial success or any success.
I like what you said, Matthew. That makes a lot of sense. You talked about collaboration. So I do a mastermind group. It's a multi-million-dollar mastermind group. And one of the things we were talking about just this recent weeks was about collaboration and the new model, the new shift in terms of business. So initially, business was something that you did kind of individually in your silos. But now the new model, breaking out of the box with new entrepreneurs and CEOs, we're talking about how we need to collaborate more, how we need to work together, and how we need to not just like our customers, but actually love our customers in order to grow and expand. I did sales for many years, and the top salespeople were the people who were able to connect with the customers and engage with the customers. And the way that you grow in terms of wealth is by giving and sharing. And if people like you, they're going to want to purchase from you. So I love what you said about that.
Absolutely.
So what else can you tell us as far as a tool or tip or technique?
Well, I think people, again, I want to emphasize this point, like looking beyond your own selfish needs. In the mastermind community that I'm a member of and that I'm actively building, we talk about this self-transcendent transition, going from the me, where you're focused on your own kind of selfish needs, which is still a necessity, right? You have your basic necessities in that respect, but then you go to the we, where you're more collaborative, you're cooperating,
and then the us.
And then the us, which is the unity consciousness, recognizing, hey, we're all one, we're all part of the same soul family.
Because like I said, if you look at all of the great people who have raised large amounts of funds, these are people who were able to help large amounts of people, masses. So they were working with the us. There are lots and lots of people. The more people we can help, the more we can bring remuneration to ourselves as well. So we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk some more. All righty?
Perfect.
Did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs.
Hello and welcome back. So I'm joined today by Sharon R. Frank. She is a real estate guru. She sells dream homes, guys. This is so exciting. So we've got to make nice with Sharon so we can get our dream home. And then we also have a mindset coach, financial mindset coach, and his name is Mathew Gardner. So in the last few minutes of the show, we're going to bring back Sharon, and then we're going to bring back Mathew, and we're going to talk together about how you can live your best life, overcome your fears, get unstuck. So Sharon.
Yes.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Tell us what you know for sure about wealth creation.
Well, wealth creation starts in the mind. It starts in your mind. It's a mindset. You have to be operating from a place of abundance and not a place of scarcity, knowing that you already have what it takes to achieve the wealth you're looking for, or the abundance, or your dreams. What I tell people, folks when I speak, is that in order for you see, what you said in the last quarter with your guest is true. See, people think of wealth from the perspective of money, and that's not the way that you should think. You ought to be chasing a vision. You ought to be chasing a vision. What do you envision for yourself? What do you envision for your family, for your finances? And you operate from that place. Now, your mind has to always think in abundance. I have it. I have what it takes to create that wealth. And that's the place that you need to start from. Because when you start from a place of scarcity, you're starting at a place of a disadvantage.
So did you have a money mindset for how you went from being a regular person to being the owner of your own company and successful in real estate? Or was it just a gradual process?
It was a vision. It was a vision. I saw as I was beginning in my career, there were role models that I saw who had gone before me and had done it. So I had kind of like a roadmap of where I wanted to go, and then coupled with my own ideologies of what I envisioned for myself,
Who were
that
some of
was
the role
what
models?
I came up with, and that was my vision, and to go after that vision that I had for myself.
Who were some of the role models?
I looked at people like Egypt Sherrod, who is a celebrity on Home and Garden TV. She hosts many shows there. I looked at her. I looked at some other folk. There were people that I worked with who were millionaires, who had done this, had many, portfolios with real estate investors and stuff. I looked at them and I said to myself, aha, this person has something that I would like to do. This person has a method that I may pattern. So those people kind of paved the way for me putting together what I've seen, what I've learned, to come up with my own vision, my own version of what I wanted for myself.
Okay, so one of the reasons why I loved having you on the show today is because you do real estate, and we believe that real estate is certainly a viable vehicle in order to grow. So what were you doing before you were working in real estate?
Before I worked in real estate, I worked in the credit and collection industry, which is a vital part of real estate, as you know. I worked I worked for several corporations. One of the corporations I actually modeled, set up their credit and collection department. Came in there, they didn't have one, and I set it up. So I understood credit and how credit works, and I understood finances from that perspective. So that gave me the background for operating with the mortgage industry and understanding credit and how credit works with finances.
Okay, so I worked in the mortgage industry. I worked as for a direct lender at some juncture, and I found that, in terms of credit, you don't want to pull your credit because it causes your credit score to go down. Mm-hmm. So when you go into the store, if you don't really want the item, don't just keep letting them pull your credit to see whether or not you can qualify, because it causes your score to go down. What's something that you can tell us in terms of improving our credit so that we can buy that dream home?
Okay. So one of the advice that I give to new home buyers who are looking to purchase a home, one of the advice that I give them is that they need to access those free credit monitoring services that's available. They will let you know. They will let you know your score, what you need to do to increase those scores, and then they give you step by step what you need to know. So I always tell my clients, look, if you don't know where you stand with your credit, get one of those free services, and from that you can get some information about your credit, what you need to do, and then when you get your credit to the point where the score is above maybe like a 600, 620, then you can go and talk to someone at a lending company, mortgage company, and have them then pull your credit. But never go from even with purchasing a car, it's the same thing. You don't want your credit to be pulled, because every time it's pulled, you lose 5 to 8 points of your score.
We only have a few minutes left. We have like 2 minutes left of the program. I love to bring Mathew back in here. And Mathew, I'm so glad that you're on the show with us today. You're helping us with our money mindset. So as I said, I've written a book. It's called 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck. One of those secrets, number one, is being clear on what it is that you want to acquire, or what it is that you want to do, what it is that your vision. So let's say it's real estate. Okay, well then that's number one. You want to purchase a home, or whatever it is, you're going to first identify it. In addition to identifying it, what are some other things that we can do in order to have a better money mindset?
Well, I think that the moment you identify what you want, that's the moment you identify all the negative beliefs stopping you from having it. So I like to leverage it as fuel. And that's one of the reasons why I began the Quantum Money Transformation course, is because there's so many negative charges and triggers around it. So let's use that as fuel for our growth. I mean, my big mandate is about spiritual growth and evolution. in my history, I had a big awakening around this time last year. My fiance passed away from bone cancer, and I
Oh,
realized,
no, I'm sorry to hear that.
thank you. And it's all the energetic charges around that, all the emotions. There's so much potency there. And so I recognized, you know what? Yeah, you go through the grieving and the sadness, but that's actually fuel that allows us to evolve in our consciousness. So I just leverage money and our beliefs about money in the same way. And that's what helps propel us to get to achieving our vision and living the life that we deserve.
So if you were to have a client, okay, we're all here together now, and the client wants to purchase the home from Sharon, and the client does not have the funds, we're saying one of the things you need to do from a practical perspective is make sure your credit is in order. You need to determine that is what you want to do. You want to use real estate as your vehicle, because you could also use another vehicle. It could be investments. It could be, Forex. It could be a multitude of things. This is not the only route, but this is a viable route, which is why we're talking about it today. So what have you seen is the biggest drawback when people come to you and they want to move forward with that number one thing that prevents them from acquiring the wealth and ending up as a business owner living their best life?
Yeah, well, ultimately it's themselves and just not believing that they're worthy to receive it. And then once they get out of their way in that respect, then they can get onto the more practical aspects like credit and finding the best mortgage or the best loan, that sort of thing. But it's ultimately themselves.
How do you help them to get out of their own way?
Well, I leverage a process called gamma breathing, which helps them activate a higher brainwave frequency so they can actually see their blind spots and move through them accordingly.
Gamma breathing. What is gamma breathing?
Well, gamma breathing helps activate this gamma brainwave frequency, which allows us to become more childlike, allows our brain neurology to become more transformational and more malleable. So that we can actually get out of our own way and move forward from a place of passion and inspiration.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. I guess it's a matter of relaxation. It's a matter of mindset. Guys, like I said at the beginning of the show, you can have whatever it is that you want to have. You can go where you want to go. You can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be. The goal, however, is to find the tools and the tips and the techniques that you need to get you on that path. So as Sharon said, she had mentors. She had people that she modeled her life after. And then you can listen to Mathew, and Mathew says, well, I have this mindset key. You can listen to myself. I'm a coach, and I'm going to tell you about overcoming fear, getting unstuck. But the bottom line for all of us is you can do it. You can make it happen. So thank you so much for spending time with us today. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully you guys will come back another time when we have some more time to talk.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to William and Rahman and everybody who helped us to make the show well today. And also thank you, the listeners, without whom we would have no show. Thank you. See you guys next time, next week, Thursday at 6:30. And make sure that you click on the link and subscribe so that you'll get inside information about what we have going on with our guests. Bye-bye.